All right, Dolphin fans, we got a lot of help this weekend. Jets lose, Patriots lose. All sorts of good things happened. All the Dolphins have to do is win their last 3 games and we're in the playoffs. I would like to remind you of something, however.
We've won 7 in a row! Listen, we win and we're in. Oh no, I've seen this before. Yep. There's that familiar feeling.
Now, if you've been a Dolphin fan for more than 5 minutes, especially after the Marino years, you know this team has multiple times, many multiples of times, been in that win the last 2, win the last 3. No matter what else happens, we're in the playoffs. No matter what else happens. In other words, if all of the good things that we need to happen, if all of the right things happen and we win, we're in. Now, last word on Buffalo here, and then I'm going to go over some of the playoff scenarios with the playoff machine, and I'm going to give the opposite version. We know if we win, we're in. And we know that if the Jaguars beat the Jets this weekend and we beat the Packers and then we beat the Patriots, we're in. That's if everything goes right. But I just kind of want to play around with the playoff machine a little bit because you're Dolphins fans. Do you expect everything to go right or do you expect reality? Because I'm expecting reality. So we'll look at that a little bit. Now, in terms of the last word on the Buffalo game, sat with it for a day, watched a little bit of film, saw everybody else's opinion. The biggest thing I can take away from that game is my personal frustration is all of the years that Marino versus Kelly, and we couldn't stop Thurman Thomas, we couldn't stop their running game, and we had no running game to speak of. If you hear something, it's Fluffy snoring. We could knock off a 5-yard run here or there, but when it came time to really run the ball, when we needed to, we could not. We tried, but we could not. And we lost many a games that way to Buffalo. Now, look at our situation. We're running 4 yards, 5 yards, 8 yards, 9 yards. Every once in a while, Buffalo would stuff us, but overwhelmingly, we were running the ball. And in the most important times, when you need to run the ball, we chose not to. That I cannot express to you the frustration. Okay, some of you are a little bit younger than I am. You didn't really live through those Marino years, just screaming at the TV as we were handing the ball off to guys like Aaron Craver for a gain of 1, if we were lucky, when we really needed to run the ball to close out games. And now we can run the ball, we choose not to, and it's hard. I ain't gonna lie, it is rough. The other thing, I didn't watch a ton of film, but from what I see, if you watched my video last week about how Miami could beat Buffalo, I said they're giving us the running backs in the flats. The teams are not even covering the running backs, because Tua is ignoring the running back and choosing to throw into double and triple coverage. And because they're ignoring the running backs, that's why we got guys double and triple covered, okay? Because they're not even really, they might have a safety or a linebacker in that general area. And by general area, I mean 15 yards off of the running back, okay? They know Tua's not going to throw the ball that direction. He's throwing it to guys that are either well covered or double covered. I know that sometimes it's working, but a lot of times it's not. And if we would just dump it off to the running backs once a drive, make the other team account for that player, because what's happening is the running back's going out into the flat. Tua's not even looking in that direction. It's a completely wasted player. It's like we've got 10 guys on the field instead of 11. We're just absolutely wasting that guy. Tua's not paying attention to him. The defensive backs, corners, safeties, they're really not paying attention to him because they know we're not going to use him. It's a wasted man on the field. And if you could make the other defense account for the running back in the flat. If you made them hold somebody in to cover that dude, even if you're not going to throw to him that often, that's one less guy to double cover Waddle or Hill. This ain't rocket science. I'm not a coach, but it ain't rocket science. It's no different than you run the ball to open up the pass, right? You've got to make them respect the run. You've got to make it so that they just, they've got to keep an extra guy in because they never know when you're going to pound the rock. It's the same concept. They know we're not going to throw to the running back. They can put an extra linebacker, an extra safety, clogging up the middle, and Waddle and Hill are covered half the day. And meanwhile, Mostert, whoever the hell, Ahmed, is over there to the left. Nobody around. It's just like Tom Hanks, A League of Their Own. I just want to get with Mike and just this one thing, Mike. You're so close. You're so close to getting it right. Now, that said, let's move on. Yesterday, Kyle and I sat down. We streamed the end of the Jets-Lions. Mwah! Then we double streamed. We streamed 2 games at once. He calls one, I call the other. So he was calling Tennessee and the Chargers, and I was calling the Raiders and the Patriots. And wouldn't you know it, both ended at the exact same time as the Chargers were kicking the field goal. He's calling it. I'm halfway into calling, I don't know what you call it. The Miami Miracle, too. Sorry, guys. Dude, maybe you Patriots should just stay away from allowing laterals or lateraling yourself. That was spectacular. So the Dolphins got a lot of help. And if we win all 3 games, no matter what anybody else does, we're in. Raise your hand if you think we're going to win all 3 games. Let's go over a couple of the scenarios here, okay? I'm not going to take forever, but there's a couple of scenarios I want to go over, unless of course I just fall down the rabbit hole. So this is where we are right now, okay? Buffalo, it's the 1st seed. Miami, okay? I think I already have picked a couple of games here, so let me clear this. All right. So here we are right now with the 7th seed. We would be rewarded right now as things are with a trip to Kansas City with who wants to go to Kansas City for their first playoff game with Tua and everybody. I'm not interested. So let's see what we can do here. Now, what I'm going to pick here is I'm going to pick the worst possible results for the Dolphins. Okay? Because let's just assume that that's what's going to happen. Because as we've seen in years past, when we need that one to win and this one to win, and we got to win by 8, and that one, we don't get the help we need. We know if we win all 3, we're in. Okay? Now, let's say the Jets beat the Jaguars. I know. Like I said, we're picking the worst possible things. The Jets beat the Jaguars. Baltimore wins. The Bills obviously are going to beat the Bears. Kansas City is going to win. Now this one, the Bengals and the Patriots, it's technically, this is a tough one to see which one is worse for us, but the Patriots winning would be worse. I don't think the Patriots are going to win this game, but I don't care what I think. We're picking the worst possible thing, and right now, the Patriots winning that game is the worst for us. The Chargers winning their game. Who else? Tennessee is going to win their game, and then we beat Green Bay. Ain't nothing changed for us. We're the 7 seed. Kansas City is still the 2 seed. I still don't like it. All right, go on to Week 17. Tennessee is still winning. All right, the Ravens are still winning. Jaguars win their game. Kansas City wins their game. Buffalo and the Bengals. The worst thing that could happen for the Dolphins. This is not what I think is going to happen. This is what the worst thing that could happen for the Dolphins here is Bengals winning that game. Okay? Chargers win their game. The Jets beat the Seahawks. And where's the Dolphins? The Dolphins beat the Patriots. Okay, now we're still the 7 seed. Now Buffalo has lost, all right, to the Bengals. I'm not seeing it, but it could happen. It could happen. Now that has us as the 7 seed going up to Buffalo. Now, I'd rather go to Buffalo than Kansas City. Don't ask me why. But I'd rather go to Buffalo if we're going to lose. I don't know why. But I'd rather see that game than go to Kansas City. So now we get to week 18. Okay. The Patriots. Now at this point, the Bills need to win this game to get possibly back to the top seed. Now, I'm going to pick the Patriots here only because I said the worst possible things that could happen, okay? I don't think this is going to happen, but, you know, I didn't think the Dolphins were going to lose to Tennessee last year either. So let's just pick the Patriots to win that game, all right? Bengals, Ravens. The worst possible thing that could happen here is the Bengals. Yes, because we don't have the tiebreaker, okay? Now, let's go over here. The Jaguars beat the Titans. All right. The Chargers win. Okay, and Kansas City wins. Now, obviously, if we beat the Jets, we're in, and the 2 seed is Cincinnati, and I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think Buffalo is going to lose. So let's say if we beat the Jets and Buffalo would have actually won that game, we're the 6th seed now, going to Cincinnati. Mwah! That's the scenario we want. Whatever I just pressed in these previous weeks, that's the one we want. Because that is the most winnable game for the Dolphins. Okay? You see what I'm saying here? That's reasonable. However, all of that set aside, if Miami does not beat the Jets, whoopsie. Whoopsies. Whoopsie-doodles. We're done. We're toast. We're out. We've won the 2 games in a row, and we have to beat the Jets. That will be a win and get in game for either Miami or the Jets. So as much as we're sitting here going, you know, we win and get in, so are the Jets. So are the Jets. And there's only one team in terms of the history of the Dolphins that has been more of a nemesis than the Bills, and it's the friggin' Jets. Now, we have won more games, the big games against the Jets than we've lost, okay? So, this is... yes, we have to win all 3. We know that. Now, the point is there any scenario where the Jets beat us and we still get in? Let's go backwards. Let's give the Patriots this victory. Okay? Now we've lost to the Jets. Let's go back to week 17. Who are the Jets playing? Let's find them. Geez, come on. All right, let's say Buffalo beats the Bengals. Does that help us? No. That didn't help us any. Okay? Obviously, then if Seattle beats the Jets, okay, so that gets us in. The Jets won. I put it back to the Jets winning. Okay, are there any other games that could help us? Pittsburgh beating the Ravens. Does that do anything for us? Not really. Let's go on to week 16 and see if maybe if the Ravens lose. If the Ravens lose to the Falcons, then okay. So if the Ravens lose 2 in a row, we could lose to the Jets. But do we think the Ravens are going to lose to the Falcons? No. Who are the Jets playing this week? Let's find them. Let's find them. Where the hell are they? Jeez. The type is so small on these. Okay, here we go. If the Jaguars beat the Jets that week, okay, we can still make it. All right. So there's that. We already picked the Ravens to win there. This has the Chargers winning all their games. This still has the Patriots beating the Bengals, which is highly unlikely. Okay, but if that did happen, that would actually still leave us as the 6th seed. So, all right, what's the point? The point is that as much as we're sitting here saying all we got to do is win and get in, same with the Jets. The same with the Jets. If the Jets win all 3 of their games, they're in because they play us. Now, I don't know how that. I didn't see any scenarios where if the Jets lose one of those, that the Dolphins can still. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I mean? So if I'm going to go back to, I'm not going to share it, but I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to clear it here real quick. Just bear with me. If the Jets lose to the Jaguars, all right, it's not going to matter that they win their last 2 games. Okay? It's not going to matter that they win their last 2 games, even against us, right? Let's see. No, I'm not seeing. Oh, wait, no, I picked that. Miami. Yeah, if the Jets lose to the Jaguars, I believe it doesn't matter even if they win their last 2 games. Let's see. Chargers. More realistically, the Bills are going to beat the Patriots. Bengals beat the Ravens. Does anything help the Jets there? No. Nothing helps them there. Let's go back to Week 16. Let's say even the Patriots beat the Dolphins. Oh, look at that. If this is going to get hairy, because even if the Jets lose to the Jaguars, if we lose to the Patriots, the Jets can get in by beating us in the last week of the season. Very interesting. So look, we've been here before, Dolphin fans. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Let's look at the 3 games. The Packers. Trap game. I know we've lost 3 in a row, but everybody is saying we should kill the Packers. We should beat the crap out of the Packers. It's still Aaron Rodgers. Okay? It's still Aaron Rodgers, and we still got Josh Boyer. You see what I'm saying? Okay? That's not a good combination. I don't care what the rest of that. That's a bad combination. This is a losable game. Okay? Now, if we lose this game, there's still pretty much got to beat the Patriots, got to beat the Jets. We're going to be in. So don't get too concerned about this one. But that Patriots game is not a gimme. I mean, it's New England on New Year's Day, right? And then the Jets at home. I mean, the Dolphins lost the AFC Championship game, last game in the Orange Bowl, the year we beat the Bears. We lost that game to the Patriots at home, all right? It can happen. Prepare yourself for battle. Okay? Prepare yourself. This is not going to go perfectly. The odds of us winning the last 3 games, if you just look at the Dolphins' history, is slim. Wouldn't shock me to lose this game and win the last 2. But we'll keep an eye on it. We got to keep, and we also have to root, right, for that seeding too, because this is a huge difference between going to Kansas City or maybe going to Cincinnati. Okay? Huge difference there. We beat the Bengals with a healthy Tua. Okay? I don't care where that game is. I think we win that game. But I would hate for this franchise to finally get back to the playoffs, and the first game is at Kansas City. I don't like it. I don't like it. You don't like it. Win and get in, but that is like nails on a chalkboard to a Dolphins fan. And the Jets are in the same position. Okay? For the most part, Jets know they win. They're going to beat us. They're in as well. So, it's going to be a hell of a ride. Buckle up, Dolphin fans. Buckle up. All right. That's long enough for today. Colin and I stream the Panther game tonight. We may or may not stream the Thursday night game. I live in the middle of nowhere, and the game is on Amazon Prime, so you have to stream that. So sometimes my Wi-Fi is allowing me to stream the game to the TV and stream to you. Sometimes it gets a little buggy. But that's a game we'd like to cover, so we're probably going to be covering that as best we can. All right, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Appreciate all the new subscribers. From a lot of people watch the Dolphins Bills recap. Appreciate that, and I'll see you again later on tonight.